I wasn't gonna make this video because I don't want to be that guy that just yells alone in his room at cameras that are twice my age. But this is why I don't like Minoltas. Now, when I say that, it's more like a blanket term. Like, I don't like this range of Minoltas, this like consumer plasticky Minolta. That's not the Minolta that I choose to like. Oh, I don't want to have to take this top off again. But this is why. This is a case in point of why Minoltas are like some of my least favorite cameras. Everything on here is plastic, and that alone bothers me. However, the other thing that kind of sucks with the Minoltas, electronics. Can we just talk louder, please? Okay. The electronics on Minoltas. Not great, okay? How many capacitors do you need in your camera? A lot, apparently. The other thing that's not great with them, in terms of it being plastic, is this thing here. This is like the housing rod deal for the, basically for the film rewind lever, and then also for the film door opener, the back opener deal. So this is plastic, okay? That's fine, I guess. But also serves as a screw for this retaining washer here. Now, the whole system is kind of dependent upon this not snapping in half, right? But it's plastic, so it did. Now, you're going to notice this hole here, and that is actually empty, believe it or not. And it's not supposed to be empty. There's supposed to be a very... I cannot stress this enough. The tiniest spring that you'll never see in your life, because hopefully you're not a complete madman masochist like I am that agrees to work on things like this. I even actually agree, to be completely honest. This was not something that I wanted to do. This was given to me. And I couldn't say no. Like, it was like one of those things where, all right, doesn't matter. Point being, there's a very, 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 very small little spring, right? And on top of that sits a very, very, very small little ball, right? Whatever, so that way when you're rotating through the different settings, it'll pop up in here. You can kind of click them into place, right? That makes sense, yeah. However, because this had snapped off with this intact, this also fell up, meaning the spring and the little set ball went flying somewhere else into the ether, never to be found again. This is before, mind you, it was given to me to replace. So now I have nothing to put in there. And then I also had to figure out how to jerry-rig something else into here. So basically what this is a Minolta X570 film rewind lever housing that I've cut in half because it was too long to properly sit there. Now, we've talked about this before in the Olympus OM10 video. If not, go check that out. It's basically just me getting angry because things are plastic. And it doesn't bother me so much that things are plastic. I guess it does kind of bother me because I think plastic overall as a material is kind of like inherently wasteful. And I think the usage of it is obviously cheaper, which is good for the bottom end. And at the end of the day, these are businesses, so they do have to make money. So I'm not like mad about it, but just how they use it. Like in these high tension areas, do you think maybe we could like find a better way to go about this? Like, I don't know, any way other than this? Like there is a switch over on this side, an on-off switch, because this is basically the same board that was used in the XG-1, I think it is. Whichever camera has the on-off mechanism on the shutter speed selector side of the camera. It's the same thing. So I don't really know why we had to do this, but that was just the decision that was made apparently. So now I've got to cramp this down in hopes that I can add a little bit of tension to this. I just kind of wanted to rant a little bit in hopes that one of two things happen. One, you find this interesting and you enjoy me being angry at things. I'm not a huge fan of being angry. I really try to like maintain some sort of positivity, but at the same time it is very hard because because stuff like this happens, and it's very annoying to me. Like, for instance, right now what's happening is, oh, this is actually a thing I could talk about very briefly, because it's very annoying to me as well. Most of the insides of this camera aren't even held in by screws, believe it or not. So the viewfinder housing is just kind of sitting there. Literally, it is just sitting there. So if you take the top off, that's going to come flying off. There's also the on-off switch here, which is very important, mind you. Like, if that is not in the proper position, the camera is dead. That is also just kind of sitting there, and not even very snugly, mind you. Even if I had all of the right pieces in, it is just kind of loosey-goosey. It's all dependent upon the small plastic. Again, very, very important that we use plastic everywhere we can. This very small plastic peg that's on the bottom of this selector, this mode selector dial. That is, oh my god, this is the stupidest thing ever. That has to line up with the very smallest of small eyes right there, as you can see. And if that doesn't sit perfectly fine, you probably even can't even see it because it's so small. If that doesn't sit exactly where it needs to, this whole operation is a farce. The problem, though, with this system is that people like these cameras, right? And they're like, more power to them, because again, they're not having to deal with this. People want them fixed when they don't work. Trying to tell somebody, hey, the juice ain't worth the squeeze, is not something that's very easy to do, because they're like, no, it's a good camera. I'm like, no, it's not. So now what I'm gonna have to do is tighten this down, hold the mode selector dial in place so it doesn't go off the railing. Now, because I had to snap this in half, means that the propensity of it, the likelihood of it being cross-threaded on the way down is very likely. In fact, that's kind of what I'm dealing with at the moment. So I have to make sure that that sits relatively evenly. I don't want to do this anymore. I really just wish I could work on normal cameras. Please don't send me Minoltas anymore. I don't want to deal with them. Look at that. It's already out of place. I'm not joking with you. This is probably one of the more frustrating things I've had to do. I'm not like... I hope that this is comical. I hope that you get some kind of enjoyment from it. I am certainly not, but don't let that stop you. Okay? Laugh it up, please. But also stay away. Like, if you see one of these on sale and it's like a screaming good deal, then like go for it, you know? Like, what's the harm? I'm talking like 20 bucks. Anything more than that, it's not worth it, in my opinion. Just because I've seen how easily these can break, I know how unfun they are to repair, and I'm like 99% sure, like, I think this is just how they are. Like, I don't think there's like a workaround that I'm missing. Like, I am pretty positive that this is just the reality of these cameras, which is fine. They are just not really built to age well, which, if you ask me, is kind of lame, but I don't know, to each their own. I just think there's better systems in shoot, there's better Minolta cameras in the world that you can probably find for cheaper. Nobody's talking about the SR7s. Those things are the tits. All mechanical. I think some of them have light meters. Not all, no. But still, like, that is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful looking cameras I've seen in a hot minute. The SR7, I think it might be the SR1. Okay. Alright, so now basically what I'm going to have to do is find a way to increase the tension of this without breaking the housing. I need to open up the window though, because my room is getting really hot I don't really have much else to say. I think that you kind of catch my drift. This whole thing is just incredibly frustrating. And for anybody who's like looking into getting into camera repair and is watching these videos for like tutorial help or whatever, I really wish I could offer more. I just kind of do what I can. I would say stay away from Minoltas. Like, you can probably find them for pretty good deals, but they're just, it's not worth the headache in my opinion. And if you're like looking at this like, oh, maybe I want to buy an XG-1, just don't. Like, do yourself a favor, get something else. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very over this because I've been working on this for way too long. It started out as an electrical short throughout the board. I managed to fix that miraculously. And then, lo and behold, this is a whole other issue. And it just like, it's just annoying. It is just annoying how consistently this is just deciding it does not want to work. So, that is it for today. I'm gonna try and do a happier video in a bit. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. Have you shot with an XG-1? What were your thoughts? Because I refuse to shoot with one now because I'm just going to be mad the whole time. I hope that you learned something. I hope that this wasn't just me yelling alone in my room like a psychopath. I appreciate you watching. Subscribe to the channel to catch more videos, more positive videos, okay? More positive. But yep, that will do it for now. Catch you on the next one.